We thank you. We thank you for the chances. We thank you for your faithfulness. Lord, we thank you for meeting our needs. We don't take for granted that we're able to do the things we do. Put on Prashia, oh, how we love you.
Your holy place, and we will rise to Zion's heights to praise and glorify, unified. And oh, how we love you, oh, how we praise you, oh, how we just lift a hand and say, oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. Come on, all over the building as one mighty sound. Oh, how we praise you. Oh, how we worship you. Oh, how we worship you. Oh, Lord. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we praise you. Oh, how we worship you. Oh, how we the fire of God right now where you stay. Oh Lord, oh how we love you, oh how we love you. That's what he desires to hear from us. And Father, we bless you in this place tonight. Above all else. Oh
Hallelujah. Tonight we're going to talk about renewing the mind to build. Renewing the mind to build. I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to show you how it looks when you sit in teaching. I got it. Can I show you right quick how it looks when you're sitting there? I ain't going to draw you or nothing. No, I'm not going to draw you. Everybody got this? It's about to go away now. About to go away. It's been here. All right. These two lines are going to be me talking. All right? The teaching going forth. Because what I'm studying now, one thing I'm studying is how to get my mind where it needs to be and keep it there. That's what I'm studying now. And it's an on-purpose thing. It's an on-purpose thing. It's not random. You can put that up there. Appreciate it. It's a system. So while I'm teaching, you're listening. Something I say sparks a thought. You stop listening right there. And then you build on that thought while I'm still teaching. Then you pick up somewhere over here. All of this, dead air. And then we got the nerve to not listen to it again. A lot of us do, though. We got to listen to stuff a lot of times. So then another thing's come because it's good. While you're hearing teaching, you should be stimulated. A lot of times when I'm taking notes and I'm somewhere and I'm listening, I'll write a note at the top of my page so I can keep listening. I just write it on the side. I won't try to think the whole thought out. Wow. I write down real quick so that, because what you want to do while you're listening is cut this time down. Right? So you go from here, you pick up something, that sparks a memory. Good or bad. If it's bad, thoughts go down. Now you got to fight your way back. And you might come back in line over here. Then I say, it's time for us to go, y'all. And you're like, wow. I heard it was good right here and right here, but I don't really know what happened in the other things. And then we get dismissed. And then that's it. How many of you understand what I'm saying? How many of you see yourself in that? And a lot of times I can see it in your eyes when you leave me. See it. You're just gone for a little bit. You're thinking, but what happens when you start thinking, that's gone. You see what I'm saying? So I was listening to some things the other day, and the man said the guy that trained him made him listen to things for 4 hours straight. 4 hours, and he would get tested on it. And he had 3 times to not know what that thing said, and after that, that man said he stopped mentoring him. I'm like, what is going on? Because where we're going right now, you know how we're in that Wright brothers stage, that what things are being created that people may think you're crazy. You're experiencing things that people are like, what are you doing? We at that spot again. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of that. It's easy for people to enhance the plane once it's already built. But it takes somebody to build it. Okay, so we've been in an age where things have been built, so we just come along and enhance it. But now we're at a spot where things are being created. That's a different thinking that happens. How many of you agree with what I'm saying? That's why it's so hard for you when you're trying to talk and it's not making sense and you're thinking about stuff that you don't know if you're kind of crazy while you're thinking about it. That's what's happening. The guy who created the, we talked about this last night. The guy who created where sound can travel without cables. He said, if we can get the right signals, we can transfer sound without wiring. His friends got together and put him in the crazy house. They came and picked him up like they were going to take him somewhere. And they went and admitted him because of what he was saying. going to emit sound without wire. And what do we have now? Wireless. It was in him. But he was speaking it to people who didn't understand it. So they got together thinking they were helping him. But when he got out, he created it anyway. You see what I'm saying? Hear me clearly. That's the season we're in, where God is releasing fresh stuff that has quit trying to make what you see look like what you've already seen. Yeah. You're trying to dumb it to a way to where you won't look too far out there. And it's not always products of things. It's the way you're thinking. I'm going to tell you how. We're going to do this before we get to the word, because everything I'm telling you, I'm going to show it to you in the word. Successful people, this is their pattern. People who advance, people who innovate. They learn, unlearn, and relearn. They have that type of attitude. People who advance, people who are progressive. They'll learn something, and when it goes out, they'll unlearn it. Then they're open to relearn. You see what I'm saying? And those are the kind of things that we got to keep thinking about. Like, a lot of us know how to use a payphone. That's useless knowledge right now. Right or wrong, but y'all want them to come back. I don't think they're coming back. You got one? I bet anybody standing there? You see people standing there? They learn and unlearn. They need to unlearn that. That's what it is. They was in the panic. They had to go backwards. Had to go a payphone. How many times it get used? Okay. You see what I'm saying? So what happens? You don't got to go in and say, I'm finna unlearn how. No, over time you will unlearn it. But you don't use what you see is not why people's houses so cluttered. Because I'm going to use that one day. Same thing with our mind. Mind is the same thing. You hear what I'm saying? And one day, somebody going to need it, and I have it for them. That may be true. But okay, well, there ain't no trash around here, boy. Sister take care of that, takes care of that. How'd you feel if I throw that trash on you? How you feel if I just throw the trash on you? Quit letting people do that to your mind. They walk right up to you. Dump it on your mind. But you got to finish. But she finna fight, man. Fight. Because she could feel it. When it comes in your mind, you don't initially feel it. Then later on, it starts to take over. Now you can't think straight. Your creative button is gone. You can't create no more. Man, we going to deal with this tonight, all right? How many of you think we need to deal with this right now? Because the body of Christ has been running on old fuel. We've been running on on steam engines. It's time to get on up to the jet fuel, right? So how do people innovate? Yeah. It's like I'm gonna say this right here. The internet ain't for everybody. Some people might not like it, but there's certain things you won't be able to do. You have to be willing to accept that too. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody says, I'm riding my bike forever. I don't need no car, but you can't get mad at the people who driving cars, though. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be mad at the people. Well, they always getting up before. Yeah. They ain't got to work as hard as I do. No. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to learn some things, unlearn some things, and then relearn some things. Right now, man, I'm getting pressed in all kind of ways, man. I'm so uncomfortable right now. It's pitiful. It's uncomfortable, man. Why? But I got to be willing to go ahead because I want to get that jet off the ground. I want to get the plane off the ground. I want to get it off the ground. Do you hear what I'm saying? If anybody get thirsty, you can come get any one of these cups whenever you want to. But do y'all hear what I'm saying? How many hear what I'm saying, man? It's like, I don't need another theory. It got to work. What I know got to work. You understand? What I know has to work. When you think about what's happening, I'm writing some stuff, I wrote some stuff down, but let me see, because I'm already all over the place. Let me find. Believers have become comfortable with knowing and not doing. I just want to know. Is this how you do it? Is this how you do it? Let me show. Let me see what I. But nothing. Nobody's doing anything. So it's always the people who know what to do but don't do it. We have a problem with those that are doing it and they think they don't know. Well, how are they doing it? They don't know. You don't. They're doing it. You see what I'm saying? Go to John 14, verse 10. Y'all still with me, right? Believers have become comfortable with knowing and not doing. We have a lot of people that want to know a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? But we never really try it. Hallelujah. 14:10. NIV for me. Don't you believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The words I say to you are not just my own. Rather, it is the Father living in me who is, underline that word, he is, say that with me, he is doing his work. Verse 11. Believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or at least believe on the evidence of themselves. Believe on the things that I'm doing. Believe on, if you don't believe on what you see happening, miracles are tangible, you can see. So believe there's evidence of what I'm doing. Verse 12. I tell you the truth, anyone who has faith in me will, it's not about knowing what he knows. It's about doing what you know. You will do these things. He will do. It didn't say he will learn or he will know. It said he will do even greater things. So I'm going to do this again. Has that happened yet? Has it ever happened to either one of y'all yet? Have you had a thought? Be real. Have you had a thought? And when that thought, it stops you. Boom, you stop right there. And I haven't stopped talking yet, right? So when I pick back up over here, what'd he say? What'd he say? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's a negative thing, but if you know you do that, know you got to go listen more than once. Don't just leave here, man, and just, no. Go back. Start it from the beginning. Go back. Start it from the beginning, because when you do that, the beautiful thing about it is on the CD, I'm going to say the same thing I said. That's cold, ain't it? On the CD, I'm going to say the same thing I said. So when you get to this point in the CD, since you've already processed that, you won't stop there this time. Because your mind has to work on like, whoa, wow, man, okay. The next time you listen to it, this won't be there. You'll go right on. Now you got a CD, you can stop it and have your thought, work your thought out, so you won't miss. Man, do y'all hear what I'm saying? So why do you think they put you in school and you stay in one grade all year? Math, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2. The thing I remember is typing. How many of y'all took typing? D, space, F, over and over. And the woman said, don't look down. The moment you look down, that's when your word per minute is going to stop. I figured it'd help it speed up, and it didn't. It stopped right there, because once I started looking down, I kept looking down. You see what I'm saying? So there's a process, there's a formula to all these things that we're trying to do. But us as believers, we got to watch the urge to want to know everything and not do any of it. We got to watch that urge of wanting to know, oh, what's the next revelation? Oh, what's the next big thing? And not doing the past 5 that you got. So go to Philippians 3. Go to Philippians 3 right quick. Verse 8. Happened again, didn't it? What's happening? Oh, okay. That's all that. That's how it happened, man. Here it is. Watch what he says. What is more, I consider everything a loss compared to the surpassing greatness of knowing Jesus Christ, my Lord, for whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them that I may gain. So what is he doing? Paul said, I'm willing to unlearn this stuff. Didn't he learn Judaism? He learned it. This ain't it. What did he do? Unlearn it. And then what did he do? Relearn. That's exactly what Paul did. A lot of us are stuck in denominational learning. So when you hear radical faith stuff, it'll mess you up. No, you can't do that. You're talking from a boundary that someone created. You get what I'm saying? We have cultural stuff, house stuff. Women don't preach. That kind, all those boundaries and all that kind of stuff. Or we all been like that. So those are boundaries. So when you have that one that says it's finna go down, I'm finna do this, everybody says, what are you doing? We got it? You all right, brother? Come on up here to the front, man. Come on up to the front. Come on up to the front, man. Yeah, you my assistant today. You hear me? Come on up, man. You're my assistant. You want to be my assistant? It pay well. Your mom pay well if you do good. Because he was moving like a ninja, like nobody could see him. You know? That was smooth. That was smooth. That was smooth. So, that's good. Next verse. Go to the next verse. Watch what he say here. And I be found in him, not having righteousness of my own that comes from the law. Now, he's telling you what he had learned. He had learned that righteousness comes from the law. So he's undoing that now. He's unlearning that. Because now he sees there's no profit in that. Who got a stagecoach at their house? A horse and a buggy. Who got that at the park at their house? Anybody? Anybody got a stagecoach parked? One of them some pretty horses back then? Yeah. She said, guess so. Wasn't there some pretty horses? Why nobody don't want them? Because an upgrade happened. Okay? Where do you think you got horsepower for in cars? Ford said, I would like to move as in a group without horses. Wait a minute. You want to move stuff without horses? Man, you crazy. Hear it? The telephone man. It was a joke about this, but I'm going to leave it alone. He had a thought, little Brittany, I want to talk to somebody that's not in this room. What is wrong with this dude? How many hear what I'm saying? I want to talk to my mother that's in Columbus right now from Eagle Lake. Somebody go take him somewhere. Because the awareness, they had hit the peak of their awareness. And I'm going to show you, go to Ephesians 1. I'm going to show you this word. Ephesians 1, verse 16. I have not stopped giving thanks for you, remembering you in my prayers. Verse 17. I keep asking the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the glorious Father, may give you the spirit of and so that you may know him better. Verse 18. I pray also that the of your heart may be enlightened in order that you may know the hope to which he has the riches of his inheritance in the saints. I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened. I pray that you get the spirit of wisdom. I pray that you get the wisdom of the spirit of revelation. All of those things are talking about stuff you naturally can't see. Spirit of wisdom, man. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I was sitting down, wasn't I? I brought a stool and everything, and it didn't work. Let me see. Go to Proverbs 3:16. 3:16. Yeah, 3:16. You shout wisdom. Proverbs 3:16. Watch what it says. This is talking about wisdom. Look at wisdom here. Long life is in her right hand. In her left hand are riches and honor. It's talking about wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is getting knowledge that I execute. Getting godly knowledge, godly wisdom, godly revelation, and executing it. Until I execute it, quit crying that you want long life and riches and honor. You got to execute what he's told you. All of that is wrapped up in what he said. You get it? We don't want to be theoretical believers. I know what it says in theory. We want to start giving testimonies from experience. You can go out and tangibly see what God has done through my life. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can really go out and touch what God has manifested in my life. That's what we want to get to. Just knowing it. Knowing it. It's good to know it. The goal of any knowledge is to execute it. Why did you learn the alphabet? So you can write and read and write. Just not so you know letters. I think what happened. What grade you in, young man? Second grade. Y'all read that reading? Second grade? I don't know. He reading pretty good in second grade. All right. All right. I told you to be my assistant. It's happening, brother. It's happening. It's happening. He looking like, God, dog, I should have stayed still back there. I was minding my own business. What letter is this? A? What letter is that? What letter is that? That says cat. It doesn't say Kate. It doesn't? So it's not just enough to know the letter. You have to know the sound of the letter. Right? You have to know the sound of the letter. And you got, so you say that's cat. You say that's cat? You sure? Hey, mama, look, we did these spelling words the other night now. So that's cat. You correct. It's cat. But when you put the alphabet up here, and you keep going, and you say this is an A, if you don't know the other sounds of it, you will always say Kate. Because since it's an A, you think it should be. That's why when people from other countries come and try to read English, they get confused. Because we have a lot of different stuff going on that we have to learn. So when they come over here, yeah. I'm telling you, every time I talk to Cola, he say y'all and just start laughing. You all got y'all. And now the whole church was saying it was over there, y'all. They saying y'all in Ibadan, Nigeria now. A, okay, we got the E, right? That's an E. What's that? Uh-oh, mama. What sound does the E make? And what else? Eh. So what does this sound make? Give him a hand, give him a hand, give him a hand. What just happened? He reached in and pulled up sounds. Just like you did. Y'all said, eh. Y'all started pulling and letting him know what the sound make. If I know what the sounds make, I can read. It's not enough to just know the letter. Man, I hope y'all listening to me. It's not enough to just know the letter. Not just enough to know the letter. I read my Bible today. What does it say? What does it sound like? What sounds does that make? When you put that with that, what does that make? How does that work? Y'all getting it, right? So once I learned the sounds of the letters, hallelujah, there's nothing you can put in front of me that I can't sound out and read. Do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? So what is that? Y'all scared to say it. cat. Why is that? What's the sounds? You see it? That one letter changed the whole thing. Why are you able to read that? Because you know the sounds of the letter, man. It's not enough to just know the letter. You can quote all the scriptures you want to quote. If you don't know how it works, you're going to be quoting stuff frustrated. Because if I'm going to, let me give you one example here. If I'm going to speak to this mountain and it be removed, the thing right under that says, and you better forgive everybody. Uh-oh, that just made Cat Kate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that just made Cat Kate. Wow, this mountain ain't moving. Don't holler at the mountain. That's when we start learning the sound, what these letters, you put it together. We together, right? Y'all all right, man? Y'all quiet. Good classroom. Nice little class. Nobody got to go to detention. Nobody got to go to detention. I want you to hear this because when you're about to start hearing a different sound, and when you hear this sound, you'll know what it is. When you hear, I'm going to write them so y'all can see them. When you start hearing words like religion has told you that's a bad word, right? So when you hear it, you almost have to unlearn that the church is supposed to be prosperous, supposed to be broke and confused, and it's okay for your building to be falling down, it's okay for the pews to be broke, it's okay for the restroom to not work. We just expect that in the church. Y'all better talk to me here. We just expect us to badly be getting by. We expect that we coming up on the rough side, so we just got to understand we got to fight on through. If I got to do all that, what did Jesus die for? What did he die for? For me to just make it down here till I go see him in heaven? That wasn't the goal. The goal, he said, you're supposed to be doing the things you saw me do. So, another word that's escaped the church. The church has been living on this word. So we have been keeping the world out. That is, you know what it say. My word might be not right, but you know what it means. Judgment. How can you effectively judge anyone in this room? You have to know exactly what happened on both sides, trace their life back to when it started for you to lay a correct judgment on it. So why put all that work in judging another person? Who's the real judge here? And you know what he says once the blood is wiped across them? Forgiven. Not guilty. You got it? You got it, brother? Good. Get that front seat in a minute. Every time y'all thirsty, y'all can come get a swig of this drink, man. This water, for real. Y'all saw me open the bottle up. Y'all saw me open it up. Whatever you want to do, baby. Whatever you want. What's in it? Y'all saw me open the bottle before. Don't say that, boy. There's water, man. Y'all saw me open it. I ain't putting nothing in there. I ain't slipping nothing out of my pocket or nothing in there. Y'all ain't no bubbles or nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? Did you? If you want it, you want it. Hey, why everybody looking at it funny like that? They looking like it's going to fall over or something's going to happen to him. Is that right there and drink it? You thirsty, brother? Sure appreciate it, brother. You all right?
Thank you, sir.
That might have been holy water. Y'all just missed out on that. Now, I want you to see something. You know why nobody moved? Because you're really not desperately thirsty right now. So that same water in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and you've been out there 3 days, it wouldn't sit here like this. Everybody in here wouldn't have cared about the other person at all. Some of you might have been, well, you take a sip, I take a sip, you take a sip. No. Because you be thinking they're going to drink it all if I let them have a chance. How many of you hear what I'm saying? Nobody was desperate, so nobody came for it. Or you're thinking, I can get water anytime. That's how we treating his word, y'all. That's how we treating all of his stuff. Is sitting right there. But since I'm not too desperate, I ain't desperate enough yet. I'm going to go all in when I get desperate enough. I'm going to fully go after Jesus. You ain't got desperate enough yet. So this water sitting here, it can quench your thirst, but since you're not too thirsty right now, it's cool. I get it. Got all these other options. I don't really want a soda. I want a soda, really. I want Kool-Aid. I really want juice or Arizona, tea. So, yeah, but you never know. Because that he came up and got it. Since he came up, he came up. Come here, Paulie. Come here, Paulie. Come here, Paulie. You see that? You don't know. You don't know what's sitting behind your desperate, and you sitting here passive. You don't know. You have no idea until you get up and go after the thing. You don't know what's on the other side of that. Paul just got gas money, man. Don't share it, don't you share it. Look at us sitting on no baby now, sitting on no baby. You know what I'm saying? Hear me. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? So you're looking at people advance and advance. They're not waiting until they get thirsty to go after him. They're not waiting until they're on their last. No, I can use this to reef because my body know what to do with it. My body always needs more water. So why won't I come up and drink it? Because my body always needs more water. Do you hear me? I can't get too much word. I can't be in his presence too much. I may feel full, but I got more room for him. This was not a $20 cup of water, so don't look at it now. It's over with. Y'all thought he got $1, didn't you? What'd you get, Paul? So what happened? He just received that. Why? Because when everybody else was he was willing. I gonna go. We don't know if he was thirsty or not. He moved. We keep going to the cup when we empty. Then it always feels like it's not enough. Now you want to be in every conference on the front row, paying ahead of time. Don't let somebody not answer your phone call and you got a question. Oh, now Christians don't care about nobody. No, you have dead. Now you want no. That's why you got to watch the people who come to church just for the emotion, the feeling, the hype, and they leave. I pray that people stop doing that. Because you're in a cycle. I'm not going to draw it. God meets your need, then you leave God till you got another need. And you're wondering why you're not advancing. So every time you come back to that same place, you haven't moved. You hear what I'm saying? Let me try to wrap this up. Y'all together tonight, right? And you're hearing what I'm telling you. So I'm going to tell you something. 20 minutes a day. In 20 minutes a day, if you read a book, read for 20 minutes, by the end of the year, you would have finished 22 200-page books. 20 minutes a day. But what happens is you say, I'm going to read 22 books this year. Don't say that. Say, I'm going to read 20 minutes a day. Changes the whole scope. You're going to get to the same end, but you're handling it the right way and not trying to swallow the whole. I was talking to Marty one day, and I said, man, I can see everything, kind of what God want me to do, man. Some of it is cloudy. I'm trying to see. He said, you know how to eat an elephant? I said, how you eat an elephant? He said, one bite at a time. How you eat an apple? One bite at a time. So I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at this whole thing, and I'm like, okay, 20 minutes a day. How many can do 20 minutes a day? You do this 3 hours a day. You see what I'm saying? I said, 20 minutes a day. Let me get in this book for 20 minutes a day. This book or a book that's blessing my life, encouraging my life, 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day. By the end of the year, you have read 22 books. Tell me you're not going to be stronger than you were when you started the year out. Let's see. Y'all with me, right? Question, write this down. What am I meditating on? Because whatever I'm meditating on, I'm becoming. Whatever I'm meditating on, I'm becoming. Not that's just what I know, that's what I'm becoming. Go to Psalms 1. Psalms 1. Y'all getting this tonight? What's the cycle of success? It's a cycle of innovation and moving forward. What's that cycle? And the unlearning a lot of times happen naturally. You ain't got to go try to unlearn. I'm going to go not learn this no more. It's going to, as you learn something new, things that you don't need no more, you will unlearn them. But if you're not learning, you're going to stay stuck. Well, I just refuse to do that. Well, you're just going to stay right there. So we was on the call the other day, and the brother said, nobody on this call is wrong. Okay, what does that mean? Nobody on this call is wrong. Everybody is operating to their level of awareness. So nobody's really wrong. The only reason you think somebody's wrong because you have more awareness than they do. You see what I'm saying? What's wrong? You didn't know it? No, they didn't. So they didn't know. Now you can try to judge that because you know more. You see what I'm saying? That child that just decides he's going to walk off the bed and not just walk off of it and hit the ground and cry. You almost feel like, dude, what were you thinking? The reason I'm saying it is because I caught the little homie doing it the other day on the couch. I'm looking at him. This boy is not finna walk. He just walked smooth. Boy, I had to, because he was like coming to me with this big grin and just the couch was gone, brother. So I put him back up there and I turned him around and he came down. I put him back up there, turned him around. The whole rest of the day, I didn't fuss. I didn't holler. What's wrong with you, boy? You should know. Why? How should he know? So the whole thing, a lot of times with that, we got to remember what I'm meditating on, I'm becoming, right? That's why your intake is so important. Your intake. What am I taking in? What am I listening to? What am I watching? What am I talking to? What am I taking in? So get your car. How many of you love your car? You love your car? Go outside and pour orange juice in your gas tank. It's a liquid. Everybody just didn't even think about put diesel in your gas car. I know, I figured it. That's why I started laughing. That's funny. Because I remember that day. It was beautiful. Your intake, shout my intake, determines my output. Yeah. Whether we believe it or not, it determines my output. The strongest part of you is not your conscious mind. The strongest part of you is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is your habitual life controller. It controls your life without you asking it. Sub and conscious. This one is controlling your life without you even asking it to. It's very seldom that this one will infiltrate that one without repetition. Your brain is a muscle, so your brain has muscle memory just like any other muscle in your body. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Your brain has muscle memory. I hit this part, this is what I do. So how does, go to Ephesians 4 real quick, we'll get to that. Go to Ephesians 4, 22. Go to Ephesians 4:17 in the Amplified. So your conscious mind is here right now. You're looking at me, you're alert, you're listening. what I'm teaching you, you're like, wow, man, getting good notes. When you get tested on this, this is going to talk louder. That's going to come in first. He's going to try to dominate everything. He's going to dominate everything. So when the Bible talks about renewing your mind, it's not talking about this one. It's talking about this one. Your conscious mind is aware. Your conscious mind right now, as we're teaching, I'm teaching this word, faith is rising in you. Faith is rising. You like, man, I'm going to get this thing, man. I don't care what, I'm going to do this, man. It's going down. This dude is happy right now. Your spirit, man, and all they just jumping around because his word going, it's scriptures, it's the environment. And then the sub is like, you only going to stay here an hour. I've been building this for 35 years. You're going to be in here 1 hour today and 2 hours on Sunday, and I got 100 and some other hours this week that's going to be with me, and you got the whole years before you came to know Jesus, and you feel me? So when he comes in and you're born again, that's why it says the next thing to do is renew your mind. Renew your mind. Renovate. Tear it down. You want to know if somebody's growing? Listen to how they talk. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth is going to speak. The abundance of the heart is your subconscious. That's what it is. The abundance of your heart comes from where it's been built. So if you haven't transformed yet, just shut up. For a season, just be quiet. You know what? When you said that, my crazy subconscious had a thought. But to not empower this thought, I ain't going to even say nothing. I'm not going to make a face. I ain't going to let you know that I know what I want to say. Because all of those are triggers. Because now, whoever knows, here it is, whoever knows how my subconscious works can rule me. All I got to do is do this. All I got to do is do that. You see what I'm saying? So why do you think it says that Satan left him for a season? Left him for a season, meaning I'm going to run a cycle at you because I'm looking for the response that this one gives me. Yeah, you went to church today, so you all right. You're going to go home and you're going to pray. You're going to listen to your little praise and worship music, and then something going to come in and try to get any parts of this that's not renewed, Satan hits on it. Because you have some parts here where you've conquered some things. I'm not saying like we some conquerors. You done went through some stuff. So some of these areas are cleaned up, but some of them aren't. That's why they keep coming back to that same area. Y'all with me? I pray that y'all listen to me, man, because I believe this message, I think, is one of those you're going to look at yourself and be like, there's so much more. I was listening to them the other day, and it says you really begin to progress when you meet the other you. When you meet the you haven't met, the one that God truly created, that's the one that solves problems. That's the one that creates. That's the one that can go farther than your natural self. We saw that in Judges with Gideon. I taught this at the men conference, but I'm going to say it again. God came and spoke to a man that Gideon had not met. That's why Gideon wasn't recognizing that talk. Hello, mighty man of valor. I'm like, dude, you are tripping out. I am not a mighty, what? I'm the dumbest, the lowest, my family the lowest. So what keeps happening is, what was happening? His subconscious was talking. Y'all with me on that? Because I want you to hear this, man. That's why certain parts of you, as you hear things roll out in this season, it's going to open up, wake up parts of you that you didn't know were there. Like, whoa, that just did something to me. Have you been hearing that stuff lately? As you hearing certain stuff, you're like, ooh, man, where'd that come from? Because it's getting into your sub now, to where it's making you, whoa, let me go look at that. I got some answers to my life today. Got some answers to my life. Name, phone call today. Who was it? Miss Lattimore. She had been trying to catch me on the phone for about a month. Told the lady, you gotta run with me because I'll be on the move. So she came to the conference, and I like what she said. She said, The week of your conference, I knew not to, I didn't want to contact you because I knew, you know, it's a lot going on. So she came and she said, I still didn't want to talk to you because the spirit is so heavy in that church. I just wanted to just finish what it was doing. I said, yes, ma'am. So when I first met them years ago, like years and years ago, I met them and they asked me to go to dinner with them, her and her husband. And I went, and she had been praying over the region, and it's funny because we just went and prayed over the region. This stuff is, so she was saying, at the time, she was saying going to take an apostolic church to deal with these principalities. And so she was like, that was years ago. She was like, y'all a breath of fresh air because it's like, you know, she was just in it. You know what I'm saying? Because now she see the weight that's on this house. So there were some things I want to share with you. And she said, Pastor Dale said, can I? She said, I didn't feel it was a word of prophecy or anything, so I didn't want to say it out loud. She said, but one thing I want you to know is that you're a champion for gifted women. I'm a champion. She said, what happens, you've been called to champion women who are gifted, to throw them where they need to go. Then she asked me, so have you had, well, she kept saying, how do I say this? I said, go ahead and say it, Ms. Latimer. I think you want to say something about sex, don't you? Yeah. She was like, so throughout your life, I'm sure you and women have been twisted. You ever had a conversation with this lady? Said, because the enemy is trying to invert your gift of championing women onto where they're supposed to go. What kind of dreams I have all the time? Cleaning up women. I had one dream where it was women lined up at our house, and I was trying to find toilet paper and stuff to clean them, to help them when they go to the restroom. Another dream, I went into this mansion, and there was a lot of women in there, and I'm like, I'm walking through, and it looks right. I'm like, man, this is a brothel. Because I could see the women made up, but I could see, you don't look right. I said, ma'am, do you want to be here? So every woman I asked, they didn't want to be there. But it looked, so the madam was behind the counter, and she was feeding them. And they went in line to eat. And I remember just telling them to run. I said, on the count of 3, everybody, y'all better run. And I counted to 3, and everybody busted out of the door. And when they ran out, I closed the door, and me and the woman were standing looking at each other. And I woke up, the madam lady. But I didn't understand what that was. So now I understand how the twistedness from little. You better hear what I'm saying. God is awakening some stuff. He's straightening some stuff out. So look at your life. What has the enemy attacked me on multiple times throughout my life, try to get my mind twisted on something? Yeah. How many of you hear what I'm saying? She said one of the principalities over this region is the pretender, spirit of pretending. When I looked that up because Dr. Don Crum talked about that same spirit, that it hovers over the Oklahoma region. And what that does, the pretending spirit tries to get close to the leader to dethrone him. But it pretends to be for him. You see what I'm saying? So always know that. It's a pretend, it comes up and it says the right things, it does whatever you think it needs to do, and it has a goal to take you off your throne. The goal of the pretending spirit is to dethrone the one in leadership. I'm sitting here like, Lord, what is going on? And she said, with the way we're designed and lined up, it's like we're going to face those things on a regular basis. How many of you agree with me? And don't just look at, yeah, because you the pastor. No, it means you too. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, at the throne of your life, at the seat of your life where you and Christ sit, a person going to always try to get that seat. In your personal life where Christ sits on the throne of your life is going to always be somebody that comes and try to take that seat. I'm going to say it one more time. As Christ sitting on the throne of your life, there's always going to be somebody to pretend to be with you to try to dethrone Christ and take that seat. How many of y'all hearing this, man? Did I make it personal to you now? So I want you to hear that. You got to be aware of that. And it's not always going to be a red light blinking. It's going to be, I'll come to church with you for a little while. We going again? But you go ahead and go, I'll say, Well, golly, every time it's just trying to dethrone. Man, do you hear what I'm telling you? Pay attention to that, man. Pay attention to that. Hallelujah. Pay attention. Did we need that? Did we need that? Now, y'all funny, man. Y'all funny, man. So say it again. What I'm meditating on, that's what I'm becoming. What I am meditating on, I'm becoming that. So don't think just because don't think you're meditating, you don't think you're giving all the time. Things are going in all the time. Remember how I just came and threw that trash on her? And she jumped and grabbed it, and what it did, it kind of messed her up a little bit. And then if you got 5 of those people coming, you ain't gonna be able to fight all that off. We got to start practicing this. I'm not a trash can. We got to start practicing that, man. Yeah. Why am I saying? I'm not saying that for you to be mean. I'm saying this for you to understand we're in a season where distractions can't be. The Wright brothers, what were they before they made the plane? What were they? Do you know? Do you even care? They were bicycle mechanics. That's where they were building the airplane, in their bicycle shop. So when they moved so they can get better wind thing, they moved to Kitty Hawk. They moved down there so they can get better wind. They had studied the wind. So when they moved, they were known for building bicycles. So watch how this looks. These people just figured out how to lift this 400, however heavy it was, this big machine up in the air. The first flight lasted 12 seconds. They were excited, but the people said it only lasted 12 seconds. Man, we had it up there for 12 seconds, the people. Only 12 seconds. You see it? You know why? They don't see the value in what happened. But now, everybody's riding on that thing. And riding for hours when the first flight was 12 seconds. But they had to be aware that I can work on something bigger in this little shop. They didn't have to go get a whole big old street. This little shop can produce an airplane just like it produced a bicycle. You hear what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff. Today I was reading, and I just stopped reading and sat in the chair, and I was like, Lord, I just heard him say clearly, start going where you're going, and you'll know when you got there. Start going where you're going. Just start. And then you'll know how you got there once you get there. Start going. How many of you hear that? I need to start going. We see the world, here it is, the way we've been programmed to see it. Have we? Do we? Do we not? We see the world the way we've been programmed to see it. The most powerful computer in this world is your brain. Because it was a human brain that produced the computer. It's not the other way around. You would think, oh, that computer's so smart. No, it's not. It's as smart as the hands that's on it. And so why am I so unlimited? Because his hands are on me. His hands are on me. That's why I'm unlimited. Okay, y'all looking at me funny. Go to Luke. We ain't touched that yet, huh? Go to Luke 1, verse 30, 37. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now mouth on him. Is that right? Thank you, Wright students, for helping me. Thank you. Now look at this. What do you see right there? You see what? What do you see? That's what you see? Now, I'm going to show you how you're possible. Put that in the King James. No, put that in. We got NASB back there? NASB. Do we have that? Put that up. I think I was reading out of that today. For nothing is impossible with God. So with God, the impossible becomes I'm possible. I'm possible with. I'm possible how? Things that are impossible makes me possible. Right or wrong? That's what the words say, right? So I can stand on that. So I don't have any more excuses, right? I don't have any more excuses, right? All right. I got to keep growing up in here. I don't have any more excuses, right? So I'm saying God is with me, and it just told me all things are possible. So that means the task is possible, and I'm possible to do the task with him. For nothing is possible with God. So I definitely want us to understand something. Can we understand something here? The way to understand this is to always think, am I doing this with or without God? Because I'm doing it without him, it can be impossible. Are y'all with me, right? So if God is with me, what am I waiting on? If God is with me, that means whatever he's told me is possible. And I'm possible. What am I really waiting on? All right. Wipe that out. Now, people saw different things when I wrote that because you're seeing it by how you're programmed. Right? How do we see things? By the way we're programmed. So a lot of us who may come up in impossible environment, everything we see is going to be impossible with God, without God. You can't do that. Impossible. We matching this up tonight? Because without me fully being aware of what's going on, I'm going to sell my destiny short. I'm going to tell you something else. Everything that has happened in your life is for your good. If you're looking short term, you won't say that. If you're looking to right now, you can say 50 things that wasn't. You understand what I'm saying? But I promise you, what's happening is building the possible one. You had to get your feelings hurt because you was too cocky. You got to hear what I'm saying. I had to experience some of the stuff I did because if not, I wouldn't be who I am now. Because some of us have said they would never let that happen. I never let that happen to me. Okay, here it come. You know what I'm saying? I never. Yeah, every time you say you'll never, the test is around the corner, buddy. And then once that happens, pride kicks in because you know what you said. Then I don't learn nothing from it. I just fight it. Man, there's so many scriptures going through, but we need to get to that Ephesians 4. Let's get to that. I know we're going slow, man. I hope this is going in, man. Ephesians 4, verse 17, amplify for me. Paul, when it's over, meet me in the back so I get my money back. That was an example. Now Freddie gonna fight for him tonight. You on my baby, get that. Yeah, she gonna stand in front of him tonight. Watch this here. So this I say and solemnly testify in the name of the Lord as in his presence, that you must no longer live as the heathens, the Gentiles, do in their perverseness and folly and vanity and emptiness of their souls and the futility. That means the dumbness, the staleness of their minds. Not dumbness, it's kind of more ignorance. Because people being stupid is having information and not doing it. Being ignorant means I don't even know. You got it? Have to make you feel a little better. If I'm really ignorant, you just, hey, I didn't know. I'm ignorant of that. Stupid mean I know, but I ain't doing it. 18. Their moral understanding is darkened and their reasoning is beclouded. They are alienated, estranged, self-banished from the life of God with no share in it. This is because of the want of knowledge and perception, the willful blindness that is deep-seated in them due to their hardness of heart, to the insensitiveness of the moral nature. He's saying their system is bad. The subconscious is contaminated. So they see a life the way they've been programmed to see it. And he's telling them, keep going, verse 19, you're going to see it. In their spiritual apathy, they have become callous and past feeling and reckless and have abandoned themselves, a prey to unbridled sensuality, eager and greedy to indulge in every form of impurity that their depraved desires may suggest and demand. What's demanding it? The subconscious is demanding it. You see what I'm saying? Keep going. But you did not so learn Christ. Keep going. Assuming that you have already heard him and been taught by him, all truth is in Jesus, embodied, and personified in him. Here it is. Strip yourselves of your former nature. Put off and discard your old, unrenewed. Unlearn it. You've known this way. Unlearn it. The best way to unlearn something is to learn something new. You know, like I said, you want to go back and untie everything in your head. Don't stop. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I'm getting pushed like I've never been pushed before. I'm listening to someone that's where I want to be. And I can't escape or skip what I'm supposed to do to get there. It's uncomfortable. Well, you just take it. Jesus said, how long must I be here? Meaning, Jesus, you should be past this already. I should have been able to leave and y'all should have handled this demon. How long do I need to stay here? Well, I'm just trying to take him. Look, sometimes you got to come on up and get the water. How many of y'all got the illustration? What the illustration told you? I really wasn't that thirsty. It was right there in front of me. But the key is you didn't see a reward in it. That's why we stop so many things, because we don't see the reward in it. It's vital, but we don't see the reward in it. I have to just trust that he's the rewarder of those who diligently seek him. I have to just trust it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what he's going to release to me. I don't know what's going to be the next thing he rolls out to me. But I'm going to keep following by faith because he rewards those who diligently. Meaning when I don't feel like it, when my foot hurt, when I don't want to do it, when I got a lot of stuff, when I'm diligently seeking him. How that water taste? Was it regular water? Regular water. But that water had a $20 bill attached to it. You didn't even know it. I didn't know it to the moment because I ain't had no plans on doing that. It just, it just flowed out. It just matched. You know what I'm saying? It just flowed out. Because you doing things trying to see, well, if it ain't gonna, is it gonna do what you're supposed to do? How many of you hear what I'm telling you tonight? Do what he's supposed to do. Oh, Lord, I'm trying to, all right. All right. What's the last thing I said that y'all remember? What did I say? Say that again? Yeah. Diligently seek him. Now, he makes those statements a lot. In Hebrews, he said it. In Jeremiah, he says it. Ezekiel, he says it a lot. Who's seeking? Who's seeking? When I seek something, that means it's not openly visible. You know what I'm saying? When I seek, I don't have to seek her. She's there. You're seeking something. You're seeking something that's not openly just visible to you. That means it's going to require you to look for things you don't normally see. Other night, I was looking at this photo, and they had two photos next to each other. You're trying to figure out what's the difference in the photo. Y'all seen them things? And I'm looking at this thing for a long time. I'm like, God dog it now, what's this? Because I'm telling you, I'm doing stuff. It may sound funny to you. I'm doing stuff to work my brain. I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at that. Man, I don't see this thing. Somebody done found it in the comments. So I'm going to go to the comments and see what it was. How many been there? God, dog, I didn't see that. I didn't diligently seek. I kept looking at the same thing over and over. I wasn't really looking. I've got this, y'all see the other game with the water glass, and you got to draw the line so the water can go where it's supposed to. I've been doing that thing. I'm trying to think. And you feel so stupid when the little stick just fall off the thing and the water go everywhere. I'm doing things to make my brain work. Strategizing. How to make stuff flow, how to make it work, how to move things, because without working your brain, it'll become smooth. When it becomes smooth, you just hear. Keep challenging yourself. Be okay with being uncomfortable. Jesus, that's how you begin to relearn. You saw it with Paul, right? Paul got knocked off the donkey. First thing Paul did, go to Ananias and told Ananias, show him things he must suffer for me. So at the time, Ananias lays hands on him, his eyes open up. Saul doesn't know what's happening. And then here we saw in Philippians, he said, everything I learned before this, I counted all as trash. He was willing to get rid of that, relearn. How many of y'all hear that part? I know everything I was taught wasn't bad. So I know I'm learning, getting mature now to compartmentalize and move some stuff around that don't need to be there and keep some stuff that need to be there. I was taught not to just, let me go. Some things you taught, you just got to keep. You need to keep. Yeah, some stuff you need to throw that stuff in the trash can. How many agree with that? Some things you throw in the trash can. Now, it takes 11 correct inputs to reverse one bad input. Einstein said that. 11 correct inputs. So in order for no more bad inputs, I got to get away from where the bad input's at. Because I just keep running that cycle. Now, we see the world the way we are programmed to see it. Watch this. If I would have took them cups of water, put them in the middle of the desert, and I would have just sat it right here, and y'all, this was just 200 degrees in here. How many of y'all would have sat there calm as y'all did earlier? What would you have done? Cross. Well, let me hear what you would have done. You would have ran to it. You probably would have fought Paul for that. Well, okay, yeah, I hear you. You hear the intensity in your conversation now? Because you see the value in it. A lot of times we read the letter and we don't see the value, so we don't really move on it. We just get more information. I believe that little spirit is dying. That little procrastination, half-heartedness, and all that stuff, man. Forget that, man. Forget that. Let's wrap this up here. Have y'all been getting something tonight, man? All right. Now watch what it say. Strip yourself of your former nature. Put off and discard your old unrenewed self. which characterize your previous manner of life. It categorizes what you've learned. You get it? What you've learned. So it's conflicting. Watch this. Manner of life, and becomes corrupt through lusts and desires that spring from delusion. So it's a lot of stuff in me that ain't even real stuff. It's like, y'all heard what Marty said during the conference, that his grandma told him he can drown in a teaspoon of water. So he was afraid. I was told you can drown in enough water that's in a toilet. You know what that was? That was for us to keep our bad butts out of there. You feel what I'm saying? It's, hey, you can drown in that. What you gonna do? You ain't gonna go in it no more. So you put that in somebody's head, that system catches on, it's running the motor. All right. I might have to cut the cameras off on the next stuff I'm gonna talk about, but we ain't gonna see. Verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, the subconscious, having a fresh, meaning empty it out. Mental and spiritual attitude. Where do you live from? You live from your attitude. That's your programming. That's how you see things. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about your attitude doesn't just happen overnight. It's built. It's built. And he's saying, as I come in here, I need to have a fresh one. Wait a minute. So I need to really evaluate, because we use these statements multiple times, and I believe they're true. Everything you need is already here and is in you. God is not creating anything new for your life. Facebook was already here. The internet was already here. Google was already here. Air conditioning was already here. But it took a human to come into the awareness that it was here. To see, like, okay, this is here. That's the revelation. Getting your eyes of your heart opening up. Get in the environment. Tomorrow, I'm leaving here tomorrow to go to Dallas. I'll be there till Saturday. I'm going to sit in that room, and I'm going to get everything I'm supposed to get from people who are sitting where I want to be. If I got to sleep in the building, I'm going to sleep in the building. Because what usually happens, every time I come up, I need to go get something, I get nervous about money. How many can say that? Now, how much is it? Okay. Is it a Motel 6 by there? I don't know. Y'all extend a Motel 6. It'll be all right. You see what I'm saying? So you start compromising and moving stuff around. And then I called her today. I was talking. I said, you know what? I just saw in my email that they're going to stream it anyway. So what do you think is going to happen? Don't go. No, I'm going. Because it's going to be a different atmosphere in the place. You understand what I'm saying? And I know this. I got to get in that atmosphere. When the camera goes off, that's when relationships are made. You understand? We got to get out of this little convenience, or this easier. You're not desperate enough. One guy I'm listening to now, this guy so nice and rude at the same time. Nice and rude. Smiling, old guy, but just rude as they come. He said, the moment you don't obey what I've told you to do, I will no longer train you. So when you come to me, make sure you really want this. And I'm not going to take any of your excuses. He said, because the only reason he does it that way is because that's how he did it, and he knows it works. So you're not going to change what I know works. So it's just, when I saw that stuff, it's like, and I'm looking, everything that's been happening, I've been taking it back to the Bible. And the reason they got such heavy results is because they sold out to it. They sold out to it. They left home for this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Peter got up and left a wife and people and left. And then that's why he throws in there, anybody who leaves mother, father, and house for my sake will reap 100-fold of that in this life. Do you hear this stuff? We want the reaping, not the sacrifice, not the seed though. Last verse, 24 here. Hallelujah. And put on, God dog it, learn new. And put on the new nature, the regenerate self, created how? God-like in true righteousness and what is he saying? Come into this new. Now learn this new. Put off that. Learn this. Every now and then at the shop, we get a manual shift, a stick. Youngsters be looking crazy. They walk out there big and bold. And when they turn around, what we say? Must be a stick. They don't know. That wasn't in their time. And slowly, it ain't gonna be no more. You understand what I'm saying? But now what if you say, I ain't driving nothing but a stick? Eventually, they're gonna stop teaching mechanics how to work on sticks. So if you want to stay there, you better be comfortable to take care of all of it yourself. We have to move with what he's doing. Right now, two things I want to tell you. The financial wealth shift is real. It's happening right now. It's not going to happen with God pouring money on your roof. When you hear the term open heaven, that means he's transferring thoughts. Write that down, man. He's transferring revelation at that time. Why am I saying that? When Peter said, you are the Christ, that was transferred information from heaven to earth. And Jesus made sure he said, nobody told you that but my Father that is in heaven. That means heaven opened and you received the Father's thoughts. That's what, man. See, we get in this religious thing where open heaven means it's just going to pour on my house. It ain't going to happen. You're kicking and throwing away the transfer every time you push away his idea. I can't do that. That's impossible. Oh, Lord. So, online, God bless you. We love y'all. We pray that y'all have a good night. Now, last part.